What's good? What's good? What's good, fans? Thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast, to this pre-holiday special. Got my man Cleveland up in the Northwest. Cleveland, how you doing today?
Doing all right, Cam. Thanks so much for asking.
I don't know what you guys got going on up there, but it was 80 on Monday. Well, I talked to you guys on Saturday. We had freeze warnings on Saturday. It was 80 on Monday, and it's like 45 today, man. What you guys got going on up there?
We got 42 sunny skies.
Yeah, it's cloudy, but it's a little frigid, man. This weather is up and down, bro. Again, we go from freeze warnings to 80 degrees, and now it's 40 degrees today. I think it's gonna be like 39 today. So thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fan special. I have a question for you guys. Kind of non-sports related. That we're gonna get to after this intro. Cleveland, here go our intro. Just for you. Thank you.
Who am I speaking to right now?
Cameron.
My name
Cameron.
Cam Buford.
Hey, it's Peter Rosenberg. I'm hanging on my man Cameron Buford.
I'm a Dolphin fan.
This is a big year for Tua to prove that he's a franchise quarterback.
I'm more a fan of boxing. Boxing is my main sport.
All we want to see every year are the best two mothers getting in the ring and getting on.
Best team to fight for this. Somehow we got away from that because guys are trying to protect their record.
Think about it like this: the promoter pays the fighter pays the manager.
Okay.
So the manager works for the fighter, and the fighter works for the promoter.
Okay.
Talk about that loyalty for a moment. I'm standing there to try to make a change. Give back to the youth, give back to my community, and show them that there is hope that you can make it out. Only thing is you just got to be dedicated. You got to keep your head down and stay on this course that you're heading towards.
So you are lifting weights currently?
It's not like that.
When he said it's easier to score in the NBA versus Europe, did you agree with them?
To me, it's easy to score all over the world.
Can I finish right now? Do you want me to speak or do you want to conduct the interview and answer for me? Which one?
What do you think about the type of
Aaron, like I was saying before.
Aaron, what has the game of baseball taught you?
One of the biggest things is being humble.
Can you give a message to the kids to kind of persevere through the false teachings they may be giving?
Patience.
Okay.
Patience.
As the show Voice of the Fan
Oh my goodness!
continues to
I'm in
evolve,
You were adding some spice to it.
it is strictly banter back and forth between myself and Cameron Buford.
I enjoy all of it.
The real ones know what's going on, right? Like you said, Pacific Northwest, so I think it's a big part of my game, and every time I step on the floor, I just want to represent my city.
You play this game and you don't turn to win a championship, then why are you playing for?
I'm happy for the Mariners. I'm happy
Ken. Nobody.
Never mind.
Go watch the tape. Go watch the tape, and then you tell me if it was all about just a system.
You look like a buffoon.
Go do your research. Go do your study.
You played against Michael Jordan, and you said LeBron is the best player in the history of the game? Did you guys hear that?
Oh, this guy.
It's okay. I'm not from It's okay.
That's what's good in sports, man. It's Big Snoop Dogg, man.
That's what's good in sport.
Thank you for making our voice your choice.
And really appreciate you listening to the Voice of the Fans podcast. Check it out every single week.
Yeah, what's good? What's good, fans? Hey, Bill Lambier, man. I couldn't believe Bill Lambier. He had my jaw on the floor. I don't know if you saw that or not. Fans, thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. Give yourself a round of applause for being here this day before Thanksgiving. I'm gonna ask you guys later on in the show about your favorite Thanksgiving dish. So you guys stay tuned for that so we can hear what Cleveland has to say about that. But Cleveland, I had a revelation this week. Revelation of sorts. And I got a question out there to the audience as well. I'm gonna ask you, Cleveland, what is the newest piece of technology that you found? The newest piece of technology that you have?
I have to say AI.
AI? Okay, that's fair enough. Oh, by the way, Cleveland is the conversion complete? By the way, have you completely dropped Android and jumped on the iPhone, the iPhone era?
No, that's still a work in progress.
Oh my goodness, this has been going on for 2 months now. It ain't that hard to do, man. It ain't that hard to do. Just say cut it off and enjoy the fun. AI is pretty dope. AI is really dope, actually, if you learn how to use it. Cleveland, I just discovered the Bluetooth adapter for the in the house. For in the house, I put a Bluetooth adapter on an old stereo. I thought my stereo burned up, but it turns out it was my source. I hooked up a Bluetooth adapter to it, so it connects to my iPhone, my iPad, and this stereo is just like brand new. So it's like I got another stereo in the house, Cleveland. I'm excited, especially since we got some new music to listen to over the weekend. We're going to get to that as well. But thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. Like I said, I got a couple non-sports related questions to you guys, but it is November 27th, 2024, week 318. Cleveland, we got a lot to talk about this week. Interesting week of football that we're going to talk about. Some record-breaking performances that we got to pay homage to. We're going to talk about the NBA. What's been going down in NBA, their transition, or their game and their transition. Oh, let me add something to that show. We're going to talk about the college football playoff. What do you think about the playoffs, Cleveland? Now it's time that these rankings really matter. For a month they've been have this ranking show. It really hasn't mattered. But now we're going to talk about some rankings that really matter and get your feedback on that. What's good, Barry? Happy holidays, man. Thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in, sir. And then we're going to talk about, like I said, the NBA. We got some Major League Baseball awards that, is just that we're going to have to touch on. I mean, it's kind of formalities. We already knew who the best player in all of baseball has been for the last 4 years now. So he finally gets crowned. We're going to get Cleveland feedback on that, see what hating stories he has about this guy. And then the Dodgers are making moves. So we're going to talk about the Dodgers as well, Cleveland. But with it being week 318, Cleveland, November 27th, 2024, Cleveland, we're looking at the number 18 and the number 27. When you're thinking of number 18, who wore that jersey number the best, or who first come to your mind?
Cam, who comes to mind first is Peyton Manning, and who wore the best is Peyton Manning.
Okay. You kept it straightforward right there. I thought you were going to give us something else. But yeah, no argument there. No argument whatsoever there. Number 18. Charlie Joyner was pretty solid. He didn't win no Super Bowls, but Peyton Manning. And when you think of the number 27, Mr. Cleveland, outside of Terrell Buckley, the cornerback from the Florida State University, who wore that jersey number the best? Who comes to your mind first?
Cam, I might have to go with Vladimir Guerrero.
Ooh, Vladimir. Junior or senior? Which one?
Senior, because he's the father of Junior. So yeah.
Okay, that's a good call. Good pull there. Cleveland, we had some interesting games this weekend. Who's the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks, Cleveland?
Geno Smith is the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks, Cam.
You need to say that more proudly, more loudly and more proudly. I mean, Geno getting you guys W's up there.
That was the proper tone to it, considering they scored 16 points. I'm sorry. 9 points on offense.
You see, You better show some proper respect to that gentleman for leading you guys to the top of the NFC
I
West.
know. For a touchdown and a field goal? Okay.
What is your record up there?
6-5.
And where does that put you in the division? That's what I'm interested to know. Where did that have you guys in the division?
At present, they were in first place in the NFC West.
So you need to stand up and give that man a round of applause. I mean, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's a great job, Jimmy.
Well, I don't understand the disdain in your voice that I'm hearing for him. Give him some respect. In fact, you owe an apology. All these years of disrespect.
You already apologized, Cameron, and I'm not going to go no further.
I don't think the fans heard you apologize.
Yeah, they're 6-5. Let's not get all carried away with all of this.
You see, fans, he's reluctant to give Geno the proper due when the guy's leading his division. I mean, what more can you ask for at this point?
Yeah, they're composed. I mean, he looks composed and ready for whatever's happening sometimes, and sometimes, throws an interception in the red zone and, leads to other things. So
what more could you ask for at this point? Could he be any higher in his division right now?
He can't be any higher than in first place in his division, but
get him some credit. Stop hating on the man.
Give him the credit he deserves. However, he's not an elite quarterback, so cut it out.
Geno, do you hear this guy? Do you hear all the cheering and popcorn and beers he's had passed his way because of your performance out there? He doesn't want to give you the proper credit. I apologize, Geno. I'm gonna apologize for him. Because shame on this man over there, beat this man up season after season, and he finally gets him to the top of the NFC division. Who would have thought you guys would be at this point right now in the season, and this man is reluctant to show you any love, Geno. I got your back, Geno. I got your back. We had over the weekend the Browns going into or welcoming Pittsburgh Steelers, and as soon as they got off the bus, they hit them with several snowballs. As soon as those Steelers got off the bus, and I was not like, they're less than 100 miles from each other. The cities are, so it's not like Pittsburgh hadn't seen snow or Pittsburgh doesn't deal with that Arctic wind in November. What did you see out of the Steelers what did you see out of the Browns that prevented the Steelers from making any hay in that game?
Oh God, the game was out of control before the weather conditions, played there.
Thank you for saying that.
I mean, Pittsburgh was definitely handling business, and then the snow came, and then a few passes here or there, a few pass interference calls that weren't called.
Oh my goodness! Is that what you're gonna go? You're gonna say some pass interference calls? Is that where you're going?
Yeah.
So Jameis Winston, running in for a touchdown, overcoming a bad turnover. He gave the Steelers a couple gifts himself. You're gonna overlook Jameis Winston, coming back, going back to his days in Florida State to channel his championship medal to win that game. You're not gonna give him any credit.
Cameron, I'm not going to give any credibility to what you're talking about.
What do you mean?
You're talking about college, like Florida State. Like, no, that's not.
Was he a champion? Was Geno's was Jameis Winston a champion and a Heisman Trophy winner?
He's a national champion. He was the number one pick in the draft. He was a Heisman Trophy winner.
Okay, so he does that. So he does have a history of solid play.
47 years later, not so much. He was.
I mean, it's in there. He dusted off those championship memories and went to town
in Cleveland when it started snowing, and they managed to prevail, but no.
I mean, what does it take for Cleveland to be impressed? You win a division game, like Geno Smith did. you win a division game in bad weather against a team who nobody picked you to win, and Cleveland still doesn't give you any credit for that win.
No.
Well, what happened? What happened to Mike Tomlin? All his superior coaching and his leadership of men. What happened to Mike Tomlin?
With 147 games left, I'm pretty sure he's going to have a winning season.
Are you sure about that? I mean, because as they get into division,
7% sure that he will not have a losing season this year.
What is that going to get him? Is that going to get him into the playoffs? Is that going to get him? I'm just saying, is that going to get him into the playoffs?
I'm asking you the question. Do you think Mike Tomlin's going to have a losing season this year?
I mean, I'm not. Is he going to get into the playoffs? I'm not concerned with you going 8-8 or 9-8. That doesn't impress me. You go 9-8 and you don't make the playoffs. That doesn't impress me.
Yes. So the answer to the question that you just asked is yes, he's going to the playoffs, and no, he's not going to have a losing season, right?
Well, I don't know. We still got weeks to play. I'm not.
Oh,
I'm not so high on the Steelers.
Which one of those are you not?
I'm not so high on the Steelers right now.
Winning season or the playoff appearance?
I mean, they could. Let me look at their record real quick. They could have. I mean,
let me help you.
They went to Cleveland. They lost to Cleveland. They could lose to Cincinnati this week. They play Cleveland. They play Cleveland again. They have Philadelphia. They have Baltimore. They have Kansas City. They have Cincinnati again. So boom, 1, 2, 3, 4. They can go they can literally go 1-6 the last. They literally can go 1-6, and that would be a winning season barely. Not impressed with a 9-8 record. And that's what I'm telling you. I'm not impressed with a 9-8 record. They go 9-8. I'm not impressed.
So do you want to put? I will put 5 pounds of ribs on the
I'm
fact.
not putting anything on the Steelers doing anything. I'm just not impressed with a 9-8 record. Oh, he hasn't won he hasn't had an undefeated record. That means they're just barely above 500. That's all that means. They're just barely above 500. Not a playoff team that has carries any weight that anybody should be concerned with. Not impressed. Come on, stop with that narrative. Let's stop with that narrative.
Okay. So 10 pounds of ribs.
I'm not putting anything on it. I'm not.
No, listen,
I just gave you. They can go 1-6. They can go 1-6 or 1-5 the last 6 games, and that's a 9-8 record. Unimpressed.
Cameron, did you hear what I said?
I heard what you did.
No, you didn't, because it cut me off.
10, it could be 20 pounds of ribs. 9. I just wrote down a record. If they went 9-8, that's still unimpressive to me. If they went 1-5 in the last 6 games, that's still unimpressive to me. A 9-8 record, that's still unimpressive. Did they get you in the playoffs?
So you didn't let me finish what I was going to say.
What do you have to say?
Yeah, finish what I was going to say.
We're all in. The fans want to hear this garbage, this ball washing that you're doing.
And they have to do both, by the way. I bet you 10 pounds of ribs, 10 pounds, that the Steelers have a winning record this year and also make the playoffs.
Again, Cleveland. Going 9-8 is unimpressive. Yes, that's a winning record. That's a winning record. Yes. I'm not taking a bet. I'm not taking a bet.
What I said was twofold. They will have a winning record and they will make the playoffs. Yes or no?
There's room for them to make the playoffs.
So they'll do both?
There's room for them to make the playoffs.
So Cameron, what I need to hear you say is they will do both.
No, there's room. That's what you'll get. There's room for them to do both. There's room. That's a possibility. Yes.
So what I said was I will bet you 10 pounds of ribs.
I heard what you said. Bet. Your
answer was no?
No bet. Okay,
cool. Thanks. That's all I need to hear.
Yeah, a 9-8 record is not impressive. You guys keep throwing this. Oh, he hasn't missed a. He hasn't.
My bet was twofold.
Yeah, again, there's room for them.
So not only will they have a winning record, they will make the playoffs again, like they always do.
Give me time to think about that. Right now is no. Let's see when we get to our pick segment.
Okay.
Saquon turns it on against the Rams. 255 yards rushing. 300 yards total offense. There's a stat I heard that Cleveland, that was pretty impressive about that. So let me get back to the Steelers. Though we didn't finish the Steelers round. So you're convinced in the Steelers offense. You believe in the Steelers offense of Russell Wilson and the two-headed monster with Justin Fields that they're going to get to the playoffs. You're convinced of that.
I am convinced they will get to the playoffs. Yes.
Saquon Barkley in the last 2 weeks in consecutive games, he's 500 yards from the line of scrimmage. This is the most since what running back, Cleveland?
500 yards from line of scrimmage is the most since Barry Sanders.
This goes before Barry. This guy once set the rushing record, the single game rushing record at 275.
So the 500 yards in 2 consecutive games is the most since Sweetness Walter Payton.
Yeah, yard from scrimmage. Key thing. Yard from scrimmage, not rushing. Yard from scrimmage. Since Walter Payton. That's crazy. He has vaulted himself. I don't want to say leader, but he's vaulted himself into the MVP conversation, has he not?
Absolutely.
I don't want to say leader.
Why not? I mean, right now he's the leader as to who's going to be the MVP of the league.
I don't know that he's a leader.
In the NFC, you have some other person that you're thinking of that could possibly be the NFC right now. Sorry, MVP.
In the AFC, I've been credit for.
I'm not saying that Saquon is the MVP of the league, like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he'll the NFC Offensive Player of the Year. Yeah, sure.
But he's in the top 3, right?
Oh yeah, he's in the top 3. Definitely.
It's Josh and him and Lamar, right? You got a different list?
No, it's Josh Allen. Josh Allen is still. I mean, Josh Allen didn't play this weekend, so he's still. The season he's having with the Buffalo Bills, I think, vaults him into. Again, I've been refusing to give Josh any credit and two-time defending champions to seal that game. I mean, Josh has been doing that, not only against them guys, but Josh has been doing that. So Josh is still my MVP as of now. Now Saquon is right there. Like, again, these 2 games, not only has he had we talked about this over the weekend with Tyler. Not only has Saquon had the highlight signature moment, he's had a signature game on, primetime TV, Sunday Night Football in the SoFi Stadium, where he just ran through the Rams. And this is the first time he's done this. Like, this is he's done this a few weeks consecutively. How sick. I'm even more convinced after seeing what Saquon has done this season that I could be a GM in the NFL. How could you let this dude walk away? Like, just Saquon, call him up. Yo, Saquon, yeah, we're not going to offer you a contract. Go see what you can get on the open market and then come back and see us. Now, you promise you're going to come back and see us, right? What kind of buffoonery is that? I mean, that was straight buffoonery. I'm total. Anybody who's played Madden football can probably run the damn Giants better than that bonehead dude did. And then to see what they're doing with the quarterback, how they decided to give Daniel Jones $40 million, and then they end up having Daniel Jones playing scout team safety in 13 weeks, and then cut him. Like that whole building needs to be burned down. The whole building needs to be burned down, and they just need to start over. I mean, I'm with Malik Neighbors. What do you think about Malik Neighbors going off, sick and losing, and it's not the quarterback. You guys change quarterbacks, and the same stuff still going on. So what? What I see I don't see any difference. I'm 100% with Malik Neighbors, rookie or not. I'm with Malik Neighbors. What's your thoughts on what Malik Neighbors had to say?
Spoiled. He knew.
Spoiled.
Spoiled. The best talent goes to the worst teams, and they just haven't been able to turn it around. So, yeah.
But he said, I mean, he responded to a question that was asked, how do you feel? And
he feels terrible. They're losing a lot, and he probably has not lost 9 games in his entire life.
Yeah, maybe
he went all the way through 8th grade and high school, and LSU probably has not lost 9 games. Has never lost 9 games in the same season. So yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna go spoil. I mean, I'm just going.
Spoiled.
I'm just going. He don't like losing. I'll say that.
Be thankful that you are a player in the National Football League.
So just shut up and come to practice, regardless if we're winning or winning.
Run hard, play hard, and yeah.
Regardless of what they're doing in the front office, come on. Somebody got to speak up. If the veterans aren't going to speak up, I mean, you might well speak up. Go ahead, and get me out of there.
You're a receiver, right? So you don't impact the game until the quarterback throws the ball to you, right? That's when
they let the one quarterback go. I mean, he's not saying he was great.
Wow. So I mean, you can talk all that you want to, but you don't impact the game that often unless the quarterback is someone that can help you out.
Well, because the front office hasn't put a person in place that can help him out. That's not his fault. He can speak on it.
Cameron, he's played 11 games in the National Football League. Cut it out.
Yeah, and it's been a terrible 11 games. It's been a terrible 11 games.
He hasn't even played all 11. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He's been hurt.
Yeah. What's going on with your Texans? What's going on? They lose to the Titans? Your guy runs out the back of the end zone? Like, what? I mean, giving my guy the head coach gray hairs and he wears he has a baldy. What's going on with Houston? What do you see out of there?
Man, losing to the Tennessee Titans is inexcusable, especially at home. So yeah, I'm at a loss for words. I know that Stephon Diggs isn't there, but still Nico and Tank and the running game should be enough to do that. Offensive line is not great, but still 32 points to the Tennessee Titans at home. Defense, tell me something.
Is this
29? I should say 30 because the 2 points was a safety. So
is this have we seen some regression from your guy?
Absolutely, you have.
I mean,
this is not something he was doing last year whatsoever.
So Stephon Diggs made that big of a difference, or he's not that. Nico Collins going down. I mean, he has the same.
Nico Collins going down. So I mean, picture this, Cameron. No Nico Collins, no Stephon Diggs, and just Tank Dell to throw to all the time. And the offensive line is not great.
The tight end, the tight end was getting some work. I mean, come on, spread the ball around. I thought you were supposed to be the quarterback back there making all the decisions.
Good news is they will still make the playoffs this year, and try and see what they can do.
You go with making the playoffs. I mean, there's nobody. They're going to win their division by default. I mean, come on. What kind of division?
I mean, how many years in a row did New England do that? Win the division by default.
Here you go. I mean, why are you taking shots at the AFC East? That's what I want to know.
Because New England always won the division by default. What are the Patriots? I mean, are the Dolphins going to come up and get us? Are the Jets going to come up and get us?
I don't appreciate you taking shots at the squad. I don't appreciate it. Let's try to shout out your squad to start the show, and you just going to take veil shots at my squad because your guy, CJ Stroud, is just throwing interceptions and running out the back of the end zone. I mean, go ahead and get that house in order.
He was forced out of the. I mean, they were from the 2. They run the play from the 2, man.
Okay,
I mean,
okay. Have some field awareness. Know where you're at on the field. Get rid of the ball. You turn and run out of the back of the end zone.
Right. He tried. They were running him like crazy.
Gee whiz. I mean, have some field awareness. Why don't you? Was that a worse loss than the Commanders losing to the Cowboys?
Worst loss of the week.
It was worse than the Commanders losing to the Cowboys?
What? I'm so sorry. What's your question?
Was the Texans losing to the Titans worse than the Commanders losing to the Cowboys?
No, the Commanders losing to the Cowboys was the worst loss of the week.
Okay. I mean, the missed field goal. I mean, the kick return.
No, the missed field goal. The missed 2 missed extra points. Like, come on.
I mean, that was a game.
I believe
that kicker should be probably cut right now.
It was that kicker should be cut, and we'll move on from here. I think that's what your sentiments were.
Yeah, that kicker should be cut. But here we go again. Kingsbury loses another game in the second half of the season. I mean, this is a irreversible trend, or for Jaden Daniels' sake.
I can kind of understand how people are kind of following the trend. But if the dude makes the extra point, we go to they go to overtime, and I like their chances. Like, it's horrible.
If was a fifth,
I mean, the extra point. You already missed one before.
I know. I'm just saying, if we're the fifth.
Did you watch the game by chance?
Huh?
Just asking. Did you watch that game?
I did. I know the game. I watched the game. Yes.
So listen. So when those guys were saying, like, man, he has got to have butterflies in his stomach, and then when the snap came out and it didn't come down clean, I'm like, oh my god, man, are you going to lose this game like this? And he did.
I mean, it was terrible. I mean, for them to make another. They had the Hail Mary catch and touchdown.
God, Cameron, I mean, look at the 3 games they've lost. I mean, it's just like the most dramatic way you can lose it. Cairo Santos can't hit a game-winning field goal against who's the team that got the pass?
But the way they've won is kind of wild too. So.
No. They always win the game good, but like the game, like the Minnesota? No, it wasn't. Minnesota was this week. What was the game with the Hail Mary?
They beat Chicago. They beat Chicago with them.
Oh, right.
They beat Chicago, and then they lost to the Steelers by 1 point. And again, against Dallas, I mean that dude makes a field goal, and then they get this long touchdown when they need in 30 seconds. They need to get down there and score.
Thank God, the extra point to send the game to overtime. Yeah.
Come on. Yeah, he can't. I mean, they're lucky he was at home because he couldn't get on the bus. Like. We gonna leave unless he's the first one on the bus.
Lucky Debo's on their team, right? Because
right.
Points and a field goal. Oh boy,
no. 49ers lose to the Packers. Man, the 49ers clearly they're not at the top of their division right now. But do the 49ers make the playoffs? Let's just cut to the chase. Do the San Francisco 49ers make the NFC playoffs?
You know, Cameron, I'm going to say this right now.
Uh-oh.
And fans, stick with me. Stick with me.
Listen to him. He can't wait to jump
The
on these
San
guys.
Francisco 49ers are going to right the ship and get into the playoffs, but the only way they can win the playoffs is to win the NFC West division. So Trent Williams is going to get really, really healthy. Christian McCaffrey is going to do his thing.
He played on Sunday.
Yeah. Warner's gonna, his ankle's not gonna be as hurt as we think. Bosa is gonna come back into the fold.
What about that quarterback?
Brock Purdy, the next 3 weeks is gonna get healthy, and they're gonna win enough games to get into the playoffs. The only way the 49ers get in the playoffs is to win the division with teams like the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals.
See, fans, this is a veil shot, fans. This is a veil shot. And most of you guys probably don't even recognize this, but he's taking shots at one guy who wears number 7 in Seattle. He's taking shots right here at that guy. And I don't understand it. What this guy has done to you.
Can make the playoffs and return to their Super Bowl appearance back to back from the NFC representative.
I'm confused. I'm confused at why you're taking shots at this guy who's got your team into number 1 position in the NFC West. I'm confused why you're taking shots at him. I'm confused. Let the fans know. Help me understand. Because I don't even understand it. What this guy has done to deserve these shots that you're slinging at, these arrows that you're slinging at him from around the room. He's not even part of the discussion, but you want to take shots at him.
What arrow slinging are you referring to, Cameron?
So you're saying everything San Francisco is going to get the great bill of health. They're going to get the magic wand. Dr. Vitti is going to come over and wave his hands and bless them all. All of a sudden, Bosa's going to get healthy. Trent Williams is going to get healthy. Debo is going to get healthy. The quarterback is going to get healthy. McCaffrey is going to start playing to form again. All these ifs, ands, or buts. But the team that is currently at the top of the division, you have them failing for one reason. And I like to, is it the rookie coach? Are you going to blame the rookie coach for having them in position in week 12 and not winning this division? Are you going to blame the coach? Are you going to blame the new receiver, Jackson Smith and Jigba? Are you going to blame DK Metcalf? Are you going to blame the defense? You got to put the blame somewhere.
Where are you going with all this? What was your original question? Do you even remember what your original question was?
Yeah, why are you taking shots?
No,
at the quarterback that's currently leading the NFC, has his team atop of the NFC West. Why are you taking shots at that guy?
That was not your original question. Do you even remember what your original question was?
I asked if the San Francisco 49ers was going to make the playoffs. And then you
what did I say?
All these ifs, ands, or buts, but you're taking shots.
And I said, I said yes with a wink.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Ooh, you know who's going to win MVP in the NBA?
With
I know who's going to win that one. I know who's going to win that award. MVP of the NBA is going to be one person down in OKC.
Because I understood the question, and yeah,
taking shots at. I mean,
I don't know. Was
Gino flirting with your wife or something? Like, did he take Coco? Did he bring Coco some some Scooby snacks this weekend and take him for a walk? And you didn't like it?
I'm so sorry. Do you watch a lot of Geno Smith games?
I know Geno has himself at the top of the NFC West.
Okay.
Right?
So how many points did the offense score last week?
See, I don't know why you're taking shots at Geno. That's what the question was.
No,
why are you taking shots at Geno?
You don't know why I'm taking shots at Geno? Because the offense scored exactly 9 points last week. And he threw an interception in the end zone
against a team that was also playing for the top of the NFC West, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, right? Do I have that correct?
Sure.
So in the first place matchup, Geno orchestrated the win.
Yeah, Gino's agent. I've actually I've been privy to some of these conversations between Snyder and the Gino's agents. It's like, homie, 30. All right, cool, we're good. 30 next year.
I don't know why you're taking shots at Gino. The Chiefs squeaked by the Panthers. Are these close games a good thing for the defending champions?
No.
You don't think this bolsters gives them any more confidence, builds the camaraderie for the playoffs?
No. It's the polar opposite, because it shows how much closer the league is to them than they were before. And so, like, their margin for error is, like, incredibly shrinked.
But if they keep winning, what did that say?
Bro, you have to kick a winning field goal in Carolina? No.
So So those being the defending champions, you don't think they're getting every?
That's not a dominant team. The Detroit Lions are the most dominant team in the NFL because
who's the most dominant team? The question is them being the consecutive back-to-back NFL champions. You don't think they're getting everybody's best shot? Everybody is circled their calendar.
They certainly are, but if they're the better dominant team, then they maul the other team. And coming down to a field goal against the Broncos and coming down to a blocked field goal.
Get it right. A blocked field goal.
A blocked field goal against the Broncos and a game-winning 51-yarder against the Carolina Panthers. No.
Is that a W in the win column, or is that which one is it?
But yeah,
is that a W? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how where that gets categorized. Is that a W or is that an L?
So let me clarify it for you. They're both W's, but it shows their vulnerability going forward.
But they also playing with the best quarterback, the best quarterback we've seen in the NFL.
Vulnerable.
So you don't have them three-peating? Mm-hmm. What you got on that? You got someone. Put them 10 pounds on that. Put them 10 pounds on that. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, he's silent over there, fans.
Yeah, a little more data.
No, you need more. We're 12 weeks in. We're 2.5 months in. What more data you need? Oh, okay. So Bryce Young gets no credit for getting his Panthers to within the field goal of the defending champs?
He absolutely does. He's coming back after all of that benching and animosity.
Yeah, so apparently the benching in the NFL works because Bryce Young has come back and looked fairly decent. Your guy up in Indianapolis has come back and looked competitive. Apparently benching in the NFL actually works, huh?
I mean, sometimes.
I mean, but they did come back against the Lions, who just, I mean, the Lions are roaring right now. Ooh, are they on a roll? Are they the best team in the NFC?
Yes.
I mean, I don't have no problem. I mean, you were laughing at Dan Campbell when he got the job as a head coach.
No.
Yeah, you were talking about he biting people's knees off, and when he come back up, he's gonna, he gets knocked down, he's coming back up, he's gonna bite some more knees off. You was laughing at Dan Campbell.
I've never laughed at Dan Campbell. I am not a Dan Campbell fan because he doesn't understand situational football.
He does. We're going for it. We're going to run right through you. That's in the situation where we need to. We're taking it right to you. He understands it wholeheartedly.
He would have been in the Super Bowl last year had he understood the importance of points in an NFC championship game.
Well, they learned their lesson. He learned his lesson, don't you think? And he's trying to make.
I'm sure we're not there yet, so we don't know.
Oh, Okay. So you're saying when they tighten the screws get tightened, we're not sure how they're going to respond. But in week 12,
the decisions they're going to make on 4th and 1, you could kick a 44-yard field goal and get the 3 points, or it's 4th and 2, and we'll just try and impose our will on the other team, and then you don't get the 2 yards.
Well, he's trying to avert all that. They're not even trying to have close games.
Different.
They're not even trying to have.
Lived it last year. Yeah.
They're not even trying to have close games.
Oh, you don't know that?
I mean, what do you mean? I don't know. I'm watching them play. They're not even trying to.
Oh, they're not trying to have close games. That's for sure. But what happens when they do?
24-6, 52-6, 20. I mean, they beat Houston 26-13 or 26-23 after they threw all those picks.
We're not to the point where it's a 16-13 game from the 33 of your opponent.
That's what I'm saying. They one time this season they scored.
Are you going to take the 3 points, or are you going to try and go for it and then not get it, and now so you're down by 10?
See, this is what I'm saying. Only one time Cleveland they scored less than 20 points, and they did lose that game. Only one time this season did they score less than 20 points. It's been only one time this season. It's 24, 52, 26, 24, 52, 31, 47, 42. I mean, they're killing teams. They're not trying to have it be a close game. to your point there, Dan Campbell's trying to not even make it close, so we don't even get in those tough decisions where we have to make that hard decision
until it is.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Did Harbaugh? So after the Ravens beat the Chargers on Monday night, you have any more confidence in what Harbaugh's doing with the Chargers, or no? Still got to go back to the training camp or drawing board.
So the Baltimore Ravens beat the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah, in the Harbaugh Bowl, yes.
Okay.
So my question is, do you have any more confidence in what Harbaugh's doing in LA to make those Chargers a better football team after seeing their performance on Monday? No, same old Chargers. Same old Chargers.
He's doing what he said he was going to do, and it's cool. Kudos to them for being in the playoff hunt and stuff, and we'll see if at the end of the season if they're actually in the playoffs.
How about? I mean, this is another slap in the face for the Chargers. Another shot at Staley, or Miss Staley didn't make the pick. The GM, I can't remember.
Oh, and first and foremost, can you remind the fans that Staley was your guy?
I wasn't my guy.
Fans, go back to when Staley was hired.
I explained why I jumped off the bandwagon. I explained that at the beginning of last season.
How these millennials worked and let them, take breaks to talk on their cell phones and stuff and out. And,
I think Cleveland. I think you're being disingenuous right now because I stated
that was the brilliance of understanding the culture, and he was just building all this culture.
I clearly stated.
Can you remind the fans of how you felt about Brandon Staley?
You were there. I explained when Tyler Dragon was on the show.
How cool was it that Staley gave them a timeout to go and talk on their phones? Because that's what they like to do.
I don't know that was Staley. But look, I told you. I jumped out the Staley bandwagon when he had Derwin James playing every position but place kicker on that team last year. I told you that. I can't. If you can't utilize Derwin James properly, I can't. I'm off the wagon. Okay, I'm off. I was a fan of him. I thought he was building a culture there. I'm off the wagon. He didn't know how the heck to use Derwin James. I could have told you. You put Derwin James, you line him up, play him at tight end, and let him go hit the ball carrier, period. Whether it's the tight end, the running back out the flat, you let Derwin James go.
Because these players need time to interact with their friends and their families and stuff in the middle of training camp and stuff.
I
put your arm
clearly
around him
you and all the fans.
give him a kiss on the cheek, but now all of a sudden Harbaugh comes in with that hard ass
a history, a pedigree of turning things around.
All of a sudden you're like, ooh, coaching, yeah.
So no difference. So no difference in the tournament. Okay, all right. So Jackson, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, because the second team to record 30 touchdowns, 30 passing touchdowns, and 1,000 yards in 12 weeks since what team?
30. I'm so sorry. One more time.
Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry become the first duo in the NFL to record 30 touchdown passes and 1,000 yards rushing since which team? I'll give you a hint. This decade or this century. If you know, fans, chime in the chat. Chime in the chat. One more time for Cleveland because he's still struggling with the language. Lamar Jackson, who Cleveland has said is his top 3 in the MVP race this season, and Derrick Henry, who Cleveland couldn't wait to get on the fantasy team, becomes the second duo in NFL history to record 30 touchdowns and 1,000 yards rushing in 12 weeks and did it this century.
I have no idea.
Drew Brees and Alvin Kamara, 2008.
Yeah, that's yeah. Thank you for saying that because that's such an obscure.
30 touchdowns and 1,000 yards rushing. The only one team has done it.
And look who it was. It was Drew Brees and Alvin Kamara. Like that's obscure. Thank you.
There you go. Is that sustainable?
It completely depends on the Baltimore Ravens. Per our conversation with Tyler, the Baltimore Ravens have a tendency to really when they do really well, bask in the glory of doing really, really well, and then they'll go up against a team and not be able to execute, and it will just fall apart. They have no consistency about them whatsoever.
What's up, Denali? Appreciate you for tuning in, man. Thanks. Good looking out. Stick around. Hit us up more.
Yeah.
Share the show. I'm sorry for Cleveland not answering my questions, but
how did I not answer your question?
Well, we were talking about Geno Smith. Okay. Appreciate you for tuning in, Denali. Give yourself a round of applause. Again, bro, thank you, man. Who's your favorite team? Where are you listening from? Man, we appreciate all the subscribers you need, man. Share the link. Share it with your friends. Thank you for being one of our main subscribers.
Yeah.
For Grip too. He's a Ravens fan, huh? You a Raven fan, huh? Okay.
Okay, we'll see that from BC.
Canada in the house.
Got family in Coquitlam, about to be up there for Christmas. Holler, man, if you want to hook up.
Well, yeah, there you go. Cleveland's buying fans too now. He'll tip you a little bit too, so you call in and root for him. Jackson Smith the Jigba, are you convinced he's there now? Are you convinced is he the number 1 or the number 2?
Number 2.
He's not the number 1?
No.
I mean, who's the number 1?
DK Metcalf is the number 1.
Lamar Jackson is a GOAT. Is Lamar Jackson going to win his 3rd MVP? The Jets fired Joe Douglas. Any surprise there? Does this spell the end of Rodgers' career?
Oh yeah. He has no support whatsoever. The head coach and the general manager. Well, yeah. I mean, Woody was on board. I mean, the loser in all of this is who, Cameron? I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear you say it first.
The loser or what?
In this whole Jets fallout, who's the biggest loser?
Oh, who cares? The biggest winner.
No. It's not a who cares. I'm asking you a direct question. Who's the biggest loser?
Oh, Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams. Oh my gosh.
Yes. What are you doing?
They traded for Aaron's right hand man, and now next year Aaron's not going to be there. And
I believe I had that, didn't I? I believe I had that. First of all, I had at the beginning of the season that the Jets weren't going to the playoffs. That's number one. And then when they talk about him going to the talk about it was Aaron's going to go get his guy. Like Devontae, you might well stay in Vegas. I personally,
might want to stay in Vegas and wait for Shador to come to town next year.
I mean, you get the New York bump, but it's only for like 6 months, and then they don't win. So
not even 6 months; it's like 10 games.
So yeah, it's not even. They know who you are now. Maybe you can get a commercial or two, but dude, you live in Las Vegas. You're the toast of the town until. You know what I'm saying? Las Vegas, you're still a new team. There's not a lot of pressure on the Raiders to do anything because you're in Las Vegas. They just want to go out and party. Tomorrow, they figure it out after the next day. In Vegas, you figure it out everything. At noon tomorrow, we'll figure what we're doing tomorrow. Okay? There's no pressure in Vegas. We know you're the best receiver or a top 5 receiver in the NFL. And you don't have a quarterback. You could have rolled that to the rest of your career. You don't have a quarterback. But now you go to New York, and there's pressure. Now there's pressure.
But also, let's not put it all on Devontae. He doesn't control where he's going.
No. He probably could have nixed the trade. He's
a
veteran.
He does not have a no trade clause.
He doesn't have to have a no trade clause.
But if he nixed the trade,
if he could put it out there, I'm not interested in go play it with Aaron Rodgers again.
What?
No,
but he was interested in.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's what it facilitated the trade. If he said, "No, I'm not really interested in
trade with Cameron," because he doesn't have any control over where he goes. This is not the NBA.
You don't think this premier receiver in the NFL could have said, "No, I'm not interested in playing with Aaron Rodgers"? You don't think that?
No.
I disagree with that.
No one in the NFL has that.
New York didn't send the Raiders 2 number 1s. So it was like a deal they couldn't refuse. It wasn't like that. It was like, you want to go to New York? Okay, we'll take a 3rd and a 4th round draft pick. We'll take and go to New York, play with your homie. Like it was more of that situation. But if he said, "No, I'm good, I'll stay here."
But why would he stay in Las Vegas? I mean, with Gardner Minshew and
because the Jets are trash. The Jets are trash.
I'd rather go play with the 4-time MVP and see what I can do. I'd rather play that way.
They had won 3 games, Cleveland. They weren't any better than the Raiders. They were no better than the Raiders.
So if they're no better than the Raiders, then why not go and play with the 4-time MVP and see if we can rekindle some magic?
In that,
and on top of the fact that wasn't even his decision. He doesn't have any.
He doesn't have. I disagree with the fact that he doesn't have any input in. Yes, he didn't have a no trade clause.
Zero input.
He didn't have a no trade clause.
Yeah.
I agree with you there.
Right. So
but he had some influence on the decision. Come on. He had some influence on the decision, just like he had some influence on the decision to leave Green Bay and go to the Raiders.
Free agent when that happened.
Huh?
He was a free agent when that happened. If he's under contract, he has no influence.
I disagree with you.
Zero.
He's
not like, I don't want to go here. They'd be like, "Oh, okay, that's cool."
No.
So what?
I disagree. Devontae should have gone to the Ravens. I mean, if he was picking a team, if he was picking a team,
Right.
if he was picking a team, that's not the place I would have picked either.
If he had his way, yeah.
No,
but he doesn't.
I think this player had some influence. I disagree with you on that. Yeah, I know he didn't have a no trade clause, but he had influence. He had influence.
So he can say what if you're going to trade him to the Jets? Like, no, I don't want to go there. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good here. I'm cool here. What? I'm cool here. I'm not looking to go nowhere.
For a third and a fourth, yeah, you have no say.
Again, if they offered him two number
all your
ones,
contribution while you were here, it was great. You were such a model citizen, and I wish you the best.
I disagree. What's his name? Al, not Al. Young Davis is a player's guy. He wants everybody to be happy.
Young Davis has no idea what he's doing, and you understand that. It's visibly apparent.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't think. I think he has some. I think he had more influence than you say. Yeah, he wants to team up with his guy. Him and his guy is overconfident. Yeah, we can change it around. Get me on that team, and it'll be different. But no, it's not different because your guy is not that guy again. He's not that guy. Is not that guy from 3 years ago.
Cameron, players in the NFL have no control over where they go.
Cleveland, I disagree with that. I mean, you can keep saying it as much as you want. I totally disagree that Davante Adams, the top 5 receiver in the NFL, has zero to do with it. If he said, "Guys, I want to stay here," they'd have been like, "Okay, we'll keep you here." If he
wants to stay, but any type of conversation or any type of influence as to where they go, zero.
No, but when they come to him and say, "Do you want to be traded? Do you want to stay here?" Sure, I'll go play with Aaron. Yeah, okay, that's not saying I want to stay here. If he said I want to stay here, I'm good here in Vegas, I don't think he gets traded. But he didn't say that. He was like, "Yeah, I'll go play with him." So, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, it treats their players horribly. I mean, to Cleveland's point, he didn't have a no trade clause, and much more players have little influence than not. More players have little influence on where they go than they do. But I'm convinced a player like Davante Adams, top 5 receiver in the game, could have stifled the trade if he wanted to. No. He didn't want to. Absolutely. He could have said, "I'm good here." Like, again, the Jets did not blow him away with it. If they had 2 number ones and number 2 on the table, yes, the Raiders aren't ignoring that. But that wasn't it. The Raiders, I don't even remember what they got, but it wasn't. They didn't blow it away. If they got a 3, a 4 for them, they're like, "We'll take that and go play with your homie." That's what that was about. It wasn't like we're getting rid of you or the Jets blowing them away with an offer. That wasn't the scenario. That wasn't the scenario. So I disagree. We have to disagree on it. But one thing we don't disagree with is how I'm killing it in the pick segment this year. And we're going to look at that right here, right now. See, you guys can see these picks. I'm blowing the competition away. Blowing the competition out the water. Let's look at this right here. You can see we got the Steelers pick wrong. Clearly, Jameis was playing out of his mind. Washington, that was a win by Washington. If they kick the field goals, we talked about that already. Houston beating 8-point spread. Ooh, did you lose any money on that one, Cleveland? Excuse me.
A little bit.
Ooh, sorry to hear that one, buddy. But yeah, 8-point spread and you get beat at home, and I don't think it was close. I don't think that one was close. The Packers lose to the Niners. We both had that one. I had Baltimore. Going to LA, and kind of as I figured, they're just gonna. They couldn't stop it, Derrick Henry. I think they finally learned their lesson and realized who they have in the backfield, and was like, okay, let's use him, and then we can run Lamar off of him. Come on now. Come on. Come on now, Gordon. Number 2 for MVP. He's barely holding on to the Rookie of the Year award. He's not number 2 for MVP. We talked about it earlier. Lamar number 1. Nobody can really be mad at that, but I think Josh Allen is having a better season. than Lamar. Considering, yeah, man, come on, Jaden Daniels is not number 2 for MVP, bro. Like I said, he's barely holding on to the Rookie of the Year award. No. I thought coming into the season, I thought Jaden Daniels would be good. I did not expect the Commanders to be in the playoff hunt. To answer your question, be honest with you, I did not expect them to be in the playoff hunt. Cleveland, how about you? Did you have Commanders in the playoff hunt? No, you weren't even a fan of Daniels coming out.
Did not believe in Jaden Daniels to take his team to this level, and I feel like unfortunately he's kind of pushed them out to a point where they're kind of in the conversation, and I feel like he's going to let them down at the end. It's unfortunate.
Ooh, see how you do? See, so it's a build up to have a big drop off, huh? Josh Allen has a lot more talent around. I mean, Josh Allen is the talent. He is the talent. He's the force multiplier. He's making everybody better on that team. Everybody. The center, the tackles, the tight end, the no-name receivers he got. They did get Amari Cooper to kind of fill in for Stephon Diggs, but Allen is a talent. So, yeah, boomer bust, and he's booming right now. Kind of just what Cleveland said right now. Cleveland expected him to bust by the time the season's over, but he was a boomer bust. He was a boomer bust coming out.
But Cameron, as we always talk about on the show, it's week 12. There's a lot of tape starting to unravel.
But again, you don't want to hear this, but I mean, we know what you think about coaching. But some of this is that offensive coordinator, man. Some of this is this offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
It took them they scored 17 points in the fourth quarter against the Cowboys.
The offense, no,
I'm saying they scored 17 points against listen. They scored 17 points against the Cowboys in the fourth quarter of that game.
So now they scored 3 points in the coordinator when they're 7-4. 7-2, it was like, ooh, all the offensive coordinator.
You're not listening. You're not listening to the whole point. I've been telling you for weeks now. Just keep your eye on it. The coordinator has a tradition of failing his teams late in the season. It's happened from Texas Tech, Arizona to now.
Nah, man. You're just statting me to death, man.
How am I statting you to death? I'm telling you a history. I'm giving you a trend.
Oh. You're statting me to death.
What stat did I give you when I said he fell in his team in the second half of the year? What stat did I give you? That is called a trend. That's called a trend.
What's really going on is that, there's just too much film. They figured him out.
You're wrong, but okay. I had New England +7. I figured the Dolphins would win. I thought but I figured New England and Drake May would keep it close. The Dolphins actually blew them out. That was it's kind of a turn the channel after the second quarter type of game. But I lost that one. Denver clearly blew out. They smacked down the Raiders. That wasn't even close. So Antonio Pierce, is Antonio Pierce coaching for his job right now?
Depends on how you view Dion.
I mean, what do you think?
No, I think Dion's a circus. I don't think he's an NFL coach.
I mean, he might be the circus that the Cowboys need. Total bum. Come on, total bum. That's a bit strong. Total bum. I mean, he got him as a total bum. Come on, that's a bit.
He's a bum.
Cleveland agree with you. See, the Cleveland, you gotta go have a beer up in Canada. Cleveland, you had Seattle, Detroit, and the Chargers. Chargers +3. That didn't help you out. That still didn't help you out. So my winning percentage on the year, fans, you guys see this 70%? Like, I really should be in Vegas putting some money down. 70% Cleveland. Even you have to admit that that's balling out right there.
Yeah, I haven't really checked the numbers. I can go back and kind of figure out.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you got the same spreadsheet. You better cut that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
10. I mean, we 10-10 tied with the Seer, but again, that's still 76% right there. You check that one out too. Just go back and do your forensic accounting. Okay.
We'll do it.
But I had Houston and Washington winning, and Houston, that wasn't even close. But Washington was just by a hair. You had Washington you lost with the same games right there. But I see you don't have no. You talk about KC can't win. They got their book out and they're overmatched. But then you keep picking them to in your confidence pick. Has it been 1 year? Has it been 1 year? I think it's been like 2 years, hasn't it?
No, he took over interim last year, and they gave him the full.
Oh yeah, so he ain't going nowhere. Here's our pick. Here's our picks for next week. We both got Detroit. We just point out the ones we disagree on. I got Cincy at home going to Pittsburgh. I mean, Cincy gonna put some numbers up. I don't know that Pittsburgh's offense can keep up with Cincy's offense. Your thoughts there? Obviously, you think so. Well, I mean that's kind of life, right? Right there, Gordon. I mean that's kind of life right there. What you think about? You got Pittsburgh just shutting them down? Is that what you got, or you got the Cincinnati, Joe Burrow not stepping up?
Yeah, it will be a shootout, but I think that Pittsburgh's defense is better than Cincinnati's defense, and ultimately that's what it will come down to.
A defense, you got to be in a defense game.
I think I feel like
yeah, it doesn't need to be. I feel you that, but that's
26-22. That's how I feel about it.
Oh, okay. Is Russell going to finish that game, or Jordan? Justin Fields going to come in?
Russell will finish that game because Cincinnati's defense is not physical. So yeah, it'll be okay.
I got Minnesota beating Arizona. What's up with you? Got the shortstop coming back and winning this game? What's up with that?
Yeah, I mean Minnesota's been like just barely getting by the last couple of weeks, and it's like okay. Eventually that bubble's gonna burst, man.
Well, I mean, yeah, it should, but right now they're 9-2 still. Sam Darnold's still getting it done.
Okay, so you saw they won last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the week before that, right? And the 12-7 game against Jacksonville.
But the Cardinals didn't even win last week. I mean, you got them turning around and going on the road.
I mean, hey, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, it looks like those are the few games we agree on. Here's our picks against the spread. I got the Miami Dolphins +3.
Oh, how about that?
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, come on. The Packers, Jordan Love has also regressed. And I think they're beatable. I got the Seahawks and Houston. I think Houston can rebound this week.
Okay.
You got Denver. Look at you going with Bo Nix, huh?
That defense.
You and Bo make up?
That defense is really, really good.
Okay, Buffalo and Philly, huh? You and Bo making up. Well, I like that. I like to see that. I got Buffalo in my confidence picks. I got Buffalo, Seattle, Houston, KC, and Detroit. See, you got KC again. You talk about how they're looking shaky, but you just keep picking.
We have all the same teams except for Washington and Seattle. Interesting. We'll see how those games go.
I mean, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I mean, I have clearly more faith in myself than you over there. You want to talk fantasy football, Cleveland?
Nah.
You don't?
Not to the playoffs. You ain't want to talk about it all year. I was in first place for 10 straight weeks. And you got first place for a hot second. All of a sudden you wanted to, chirp. Nah. Wait till the playoffs.
I mean, When was that? 10 weeks? When was that? How long ago was that? That seemed like it was a eternity ago.
No. I was in first place for 10 straight weeks. You got first place what, last week?
Maybe 3 weeks ago.
No. It was like last week.
Okay, well, who's in first place right now? I think that's what matters. I think that's what matters.
So against your question, like,
so you see the win streak W4. What's that mean? W4. What's that mean?
That means that I don't want to talk about it until we get to the playoffs, and then we get down. We'll talk some more.
Oh, that's what you don't want to talk about it?
No.
Let me look at.
You didn't want to talk about it for the first 10 weeks. You know what? I'm gonna take a station break right quick. You go ahead. I'll be right back.
He's saying fans. You don't want to talk. You don't want to talk about the game right
for 10 weeks. Go ahead.
Who you guys got? How's your fantasy squad doing? How's your fantasy squad doing, fellas? Cleveland, you see how he ran out the room? We start talking fantasy football. This is his team. He got Jared Goff, DK, Jameson. I mean, Derrick Henry has been carrying him. Bijan, Kittles. He picked up Kareem Hunt midway through the season. He even had Brock Purdy. He was rolling with Brock Purdy. Caleb still ain't turned the corner for him. And Tyler Lockett, and he's hating. But you guys want to see the champion, the future champion, who he got on his squad? Patrick Mahomes, Justin Jefferson, Calvin Ridley, Jahmyr Gibbs, Aaron Jones. Woof. The rookie tight end has been cashing in. Tony Pollard has been better than anticipated. Here was the one questionable thing I did, fans, and I'll let you guys know. I drafted Jaden Daniels, but I traded him for Xavier Worthy. I got somebody else out of the deal too. I don't remember, but I got Xavier Worthy, and that has not paid off for me at all. Tank Bigsby, I thought he was going to be better. Nick Chubb, I thought he was going to be ready to go. I didn't expect it to take 6 weeks for the season for him to play. He hasn't turned the corner. Rome hasn't turned the corner. Bo Nix, I actually won a game with him last week. And then Jordan Addison, I couldn't believe he was available. I'd just go snatch him after his big game. But man, fantasy football fans, Cleveland ran. You guys see how quickly he ran out the room when we're talking fantasy football. You should get into fantasy, man. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun, and we do it for bragging rights. So it's fun in that aspect. At least we can do it and have some chatter during the season.
So fans, if you listen to Cameron's banter back and forth, the only player that he has that I will admit this, that I'm legitimately scared of is Jahmyr Gibbs on his team. Jahmyr was a great pick, and the only reason that he picked him, fans, is because I picked him last year, and he wanted to get back at me.
Oh, that's why I picked him?
That's why you picked him.
Because he's a beast. It's funny how you picked him.
Nope. Because I picked him the pick before you last year, and you wanted to get back at me.
And I wanted him last year, so I had to pick him early. So I wanted him last year, but you went ahead and snuck him on me.
But your team is, again, number one for 10 weeks. You got me this week. That's cool.
Patrick Mahomes, Justin Jefferson. You're not concerned with either one of those guys? Brock Bowers? You don't even know who Brock Bowers is. You don't even know who Brock Bowers is. Yeah, Nick Chubb, man. I was kind of disappointed by that pick. I stashed him thinking he was going to come back and expected this. But what's his name been producing for me? I'm not mad at Tony Pollard.
Last week, he had 19 points last week. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what he did. That was the only thing he did this year.
Plus, you're mismanaging your team, so I'm not really all that concerned. Just saying. I know it's how you like to talk, when you're in first place. That's great. Glad to have you back in the conversation, homie.
Well, make the playoffs. Make the playoffs so we can have a conversation.
Oh, thanks. I think I will because I'm the number 2 seed right now. I think I'll make the playoffs. We'll see each other again. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to do that. I don't know if you want to do that. You better hope somebody else knocks me off, like that T Machine, or that Andy dude. You better hope one of them get a hold of me.
Okay.
Last week in the NBA, LaMelo Ball been going crazy. He scored 50 points, 10 assists in a loss to the Bucks. Then comes back and scored 44. Him and Brandon Miller become another quiz question. Him and Brandon Miller scored 32 and 37 points respectively. Become the first duo, 23 or younger, to score 30 plus points in consecutive games since who?
Since
Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball.
Such an obscure stat. Since Derrick Rose and Ben Gordon.
What? Come on, man. Okay, we're not even count that one.
Since Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
Since Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant.
Oh, that's a good one.
The Nuggets give up 145 to the Knicks. Sunday night?
Mm-hmm.
After beating the Lakers. Did you hear Jamal Murray said post game?
No.
A lot of guys. He said, first of all, we have lives. Guys have lives outside of basketball. Number one. That's how he opened up his statement.
Okay.
And then said, a lot of guys has houses in LA, has homes in LA. So they stayed in LA extra day. And they just lost focus. Is that being too truthful? Is that being dumb? That not
I mean we're in the era of social media, so I mean everything you say is like, magnified times 1,000, and
he didn't say it he said it in a post-game press conference. He didn't tweet this. He didn't tweet this to one of his homies. Yeah, we was in LA last night. We kicked it. He said this in a post-game press conference. Guys have lives outside of hoop. We stayed in LA. A lot of guys has home there, so everybody stayed in LA. And we lost focus.
So there's a question, was he being too truthful about what actually happened? Is that your question?
That's my question. Was he being too truthful?
Perhaps the way that that you slathered it all on,
the way I slathered it. So you didn't hear what he go. Oh man, goodness.
If you're like,
that's exactly what he said in a post-game press conference. Again, this wasn't to me to you on Twitter or Instagram.
If you can't handle the truth, then yes, he was being too truthful.
Oh, now so we're supposed to just say, okay, we'll accept that. That makes sense. Come on,
it makes 177%.
Man, come on, man. To the guy, the iron worker who's buying tickets to go buying tickets for his wife and 2 kids to go see the game. This is what you're going to tell us? He's spending $400 to go to a game?
Being truthful, yeah. There's a lot to do in LA, and man, cats are like really like. But again, Cameron, going into the season and through this entire season, I will say this again, and please let the fans know how you feel about it. Jamal Murray is the most important player in the NBA right now.
Well, you've been saying that, but Jamal Murray, okay, Cleveland. So I don't want to get on Jamal Murray. Like, I mean, he's not a bad dude. And from all I see, he's not a bad guy. Mm-hmm. Everything I've seen and heard and talked to him, he's not a bad guy. mean, he's not out here committing flagrant fouls. He's not out here running around
crashing cars, running over people,
flashing guns around, and getting kicked out, getting suspended. This guy, for him, it may just been he was just being honest and too truthful.
Too truthful.
But Jamal, come on, you gotta read the room, bro. Like a lot of people, especially in the Denver and surrounding areas in Denver, in the Colorado region, are expecting you to step up and get this team back to an NBA championship contention. Like, you have my co-host saying you're the most important dude in the NBA as far as if you step up and play to your capabilities. Denver's darn near unbeatable. But because you haven't stepped up and played to your capabilities,
just last year at the end of the year.
I mean, just last year. Coming into last year, he was hurt.
The year before that, they won the NBA championship.
But coming last year, he was hurt though. At the beginning of last year, he was hurt.
He certainly stepped up to that. Barometer.
But didn't you expect that to kind of continue? That trend to continue?
And
you
then
get to the mountaintop and then you just come right back down?
And then last year he was hurt. If he is healthy and focused this year, Denver will win the championship. That's why he's the most important.
That's a long way to go. I think Denver lost from their championship team. They lost some key pieces, and they haven't replaced them.
You're not going to talk me to death about Kentavious Caldwell-Pope again. You're not going to talk me to death about Bones Highland no more.
No.
Here's what
I thought Bones deserved a chance. Ty Lue says, "Come sit next to me."
Paul Murray is healthy and focused,
bro.
Won the championship.
So you don't want to give Kentavious Caldwell-Pope any credit, but do you see how Orlando is performing? Even without Paulo Banchero this year,
and where's Orlando gonna get?
No. See,
second round.
Okay, but where were they last year?
They lost in their first round. They might win their first round battle this year. They're not going to win their second round battle.
He's breathing confident. He's bringing NBA championship caliber medals
from the first round to the second round. That's cool.
Bruce Brown. So Caldwell-Pope played defense for that squad on wing defense. The NBA has much more wing players than anything else. He played excellent wing, above average wing defense for the Denver Nuggets, along with Bruce Brown, who played excellent wing defense for them guys as well, and was able to bring the ball up and score.
Talk in the NBA, I love it.
Again,
I love when you be talking about that defense in the NBA.
If nobody else is doing it, Cleveland, the little bit that they do steps up and makes a difference.
You know what? It's actually not that significant when it gets to the playoffs. But we're so far away from that. I mean, we're still November, Cameron. We're still November.
At _voice of the fans, I need a new.
I love this talk. Like, you don't understand how the NBA works.
I need a new.
You know, you talk so often like you don't understand how the NBA works.
I need fans. Hit me up at _voice of the fans. We record every.
Kentavious Caldwell-Pope went to the Orlando Magic.
You guys want to step up and be my next co-host? Chime in. I need you, fans. I need you guys. I need a co-host because this guy don't know nothing about it. This guy, if nobody else is playing defense, Cleveland, the little bit of defense they do play, those few players that they had, Bruce Brown, whose role was a defensive player, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, whose role was a defensive player, they weren't the scorers on the team. Their job is to play defense and allow Jokic to do his thing, allow Murray to do his thing, and then hopefully Michael Porter Jr. can get out there and hit some threes.
Three-time MVP of the league on their team, and if Jamal Murray gets healthy, they cannot be beaten.
And this is where I disagree, Cleveland. You're thinking of their team when they went to the NBA Finals. This is not that same team. They don't have that extra support that they had.
Kentavious Caldwell,
Christian Braun filling in for Kentavious
Ooh.
Filling in for Contavious Caldwell Pope is not that guy.
Both of those.
Christian Braun is not that guy. I haven't seen Marco Porter. I haven't seen Marco Porter.
How they gonna replace Contavious Caldwell Pope when they got Joker and Jamal Murray hitting wet jumpers, and Michael Porter Jr. is healthy?
Have you seen Michael Porter Jr. get in front of somebody? Have you seen Michael Porter Jr. get in front of somebody? Have you seen him take a charge, get a steal? Have you seen that?
Yeah. Okay.
Have you seen that? I don't know. Maybe you've seen it. Maybe I didn't see it.
Fans, if Jamal Murray is healthy, the Denver Nuggets will win the championship.
Well, they're not better than Oklahoma City Thunder.
They absolutely 100% are better than the Oklahoma City Thunder if Jamal Murray is healthy.
Where's my soundbite? Where's my soundbite at?
That person don't know football then.
Well, he's talking. That was talking to you. Where's my? Can you hear this music? Can you hear that? Did that come through to you? Can you hear that music? But you heard this though, right?
That person don't know football then.
You heard that, right?
That was football. But I know.
Yeah. Again, I'm looking for it.
Look like a buffoon.
There you go. That was it right there.
Look like a buffoon.
Yeah. That's Cleveland to himself right there. Scottie Pippen Jr. scored 30 points, scores a personal record, 30 points for the Grizzlies, for the Grizzlies against the Bulls. Is this sustainable?
Bro, I'm going to tell you what, man. I don't know what has gotten into Scottie Pippen Jr. in Memphis, but he has been balling out of control. If there's any type of inference that he would be doing that in Los Angeles, he would still be a Laker. Like, I cannot explain.
So you agree with your guy. We haven't heard from our guy Lomax. He's been scared to come on the show. He's been scared to come on the show because you got that subpar team and that plays in downtown LA now.
Fourth seed.
But
the fourth best team in the Western Conference, sure.
Mediocre team.
The fourth best team in the Western Conference. Okay.
Who was the guy? Gabe Vincent, right? Gabe Vincent. How's he been looking since he's been on your team?
Horrible. Like he's been in LA just to curricular that take away from his performance.
Or what's the other reasoning? What would Clint? What's Clint like to say? Some guys just don't know how to perform in those lights.
The bright lights, yeah.
Right. So, I mean, it's been 2 years for him. It's
got to be one of those explanations, right? Because he sucks.
So Scotty Jr. goes to Memphis, and there ain't nothing but Bill Street in Memphis.
He must understand the difference in the barbecue, from region to region, and likes that one, man. And it's been like solid.
Or he got some inspiration from the MLK Museum. One of the two.
It's like when Zach Randolph got there and like, wow, Zebo is like a fixture here. Like, what's going on here? Been all over the place.
What's good, SB? How you doing, bro? Happy holidays.
When is Vanderbilt coming back? I don't know.
I mean, exactly. Hyped him up like he was Robin. He hyped him up like he was Robin.
2 years ago, Vanderbilt was the difference. I'm here about that as well. I'm not gonna lie.
SB, did you hear his take on the Denver Nuggets? SB, I don't know if you was with us. Did you hear his take on the Denver Nuggets and Jamal Murray?
Very clear. Jamal Murray is the most important player in the NBA right now.
I mean, SB, that's what I want to know because this guy, SB, I need your number. I need your email address, man. Shoot me your email address so I can get you on the show, man. You could take over as co-host because this dude here after the night. My goodness. Okay. Thoughts on the Bucks needing a game-winning layup. Dame did go off. They won last night. They beat the Heat. They beat the Heat in the tournament. But Dame need over the weekend. Dame need a game winning layup to beat the Rockets. Are you ready to give the Rockets some credit now? I was a year early on the Rockets. I said last year that they had on talent alone they should be the number 6 seed in the West. And with coaching, I thought for sure that they would be there. With Ime, I was a year early. Now. So, are you ready now today to give the Houston Rockets some respect in the Western Conference?
Yes, Cameron. I think that Rockets can definitely potentially make the playoffs.
Oh, look at he did come around. I thought you had some. I thought you were going to say something a little smart. The Rockets they're not only I don't want to say scrappy team there, which they are scrappy, but I think the Rockets, man, is kind of a well built team, if I should say, if you've seen one. They're built well. They have talent. Right now they're third in the Western Conference. I don't think they're going to finish 3. I certainly don't think that. But right now they're third and they're solid. They're a solid squad. Will the 76ers climb their way out of this hole? We see. Let me go back. Let me back up. The Bucks. We see the Bucks decline their way and win 10 straight. To get back to respectability in the Eastern Conference. Now they're 9-9 right now. They're 5th. But can the Sixers, who are 3-14, bro, 14 in the West in the Eastern Conference, can they climb out to make it to the playoffs, to make it to the play-in?
Cam, not 100% sure. They're doing a little bit too much spreadsheet math over there, and it's not working out.
I mean, they are 14, but that's 4 games out of 8th place. 4 games out of 7th place in the Eastern Conference. Indiana, they're 4 games behind Indiana, who's number 8. I don't know. Oh, wait, huh? Whoa, SB. Don't you dare talk about defense in the NBA, SB. Don't you dare bring that up. Don't you? Because some people, don't you dare bring that up, SB. Because some people will just tune you out if you bring out defense in NBA. Yeah, SB. I tried it. Exactly what I told him. Like Bruce Brown, he don't want to hear Bruce Brown. He don't want to hear Contavious Caldwell-Pope being key factors in them winning a championship. He don't want to hear that.
Cameron,
he thinks it's all Jokic and Murray.
But Cameron, why is that?
What, that you can't understand that because you don't know the game? I mean, that's the only thing I can chalk it up to. You don't know the game
because that is not how NBA championships are won. NBA championships are won by players having unstoppable moves. They can't be stopped.
Again, this
so
is
all of your traps and all of your 2 threes and all of your drawing up the stuff on the chalkboard, it don't work.
But if you have somebody who can shut that other guy down, who's going between his legs, who's going around his back, who's trying to cross you over, if you have somebody who can shut that shit down, then that makes your team better.
That's 100% legit if you can shut that other guy down. But once you get to the second round, that means you're playing somebody that's not a thing.
Again, I'm sorry. Folks, hit me up at _voice of the fans. I need a new co-host.
And it's so early because it's November. I mean, why are we getting so in depth about this?
No, it's not even in depth. It's not even in depth. SB just tuned into the show and gave it to you right there. It's not even in depth. I just pointed out to you, and you know it was coming too. You knew I was going to bring up Contavious Caldwell-Pope. You know it. I don't want to hear about Pope.
You're bringing up Contavious.
You knew I was bringing it up. Bruce Brown.
The difference between winning the championship and not winning the championship.
Chris Brown does not fill in the void for those 2 guys.
Not. The difference between winning the championship and not winning the championship is Jamal Murray. It's not Contavious Caldwell-Pope.
Okay. Say what you want. Say what you want. Hit me up, fans, at _ voice of the fans. If you want to come in and be a co-host, a guest co-host on the show, hit me up at _ voice of the fans anytime you like, okay? On X. We're going to Blue Sky, but right now that's hit me up there. I don't know, man. SB, you gotta say it loudly and proudly, SB. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, SB.
Well, SB, at the very least, they were playing the Eastern Conference, and there are at least 2 of them that are all NBA first or second team. So, hey, man. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
The Kentavious Caldwell Pope, sticky defense, not going to be the difference.
The new NBA All-Star format. What's your thoughts?
It changes all the time. I don't even remember what it is, man. They're trying to make the game less of a rec league type of atmosphere. So what? Everybody. I'm. You know what? Hold on. 2 steps back.
Go ahead.
I'm tired of everybody trying to make the All-Star game all competitive and it's this thing. Man, it's not the All-Star game be the thing. I would be okay. You know what I'm saying, Cameron?
It's not a thing? Is it?
Hear me on this.
Okay, I'm listening. We listening.
I would be okay if the All-Star game became kind of like a fashion show.
Oh, come on.
Like
it's already there. We're already there.
Move. I do the 360 dunk. I do the step back fadeaway. I do the up.
We're already there.
It's like, yeah. We'll just go with it.
So you were good with the 198 to 211.
Good with it. If you can do it.
Come on, man. That's not even hoop. There's nobody. Oh yeah. You don't even want to talk about Chris. You don't even want to talk about Kentavious Caldwell Pope or Bruce Brown playing defense and being a factor on the championship squad. So you don't want to see any defense in the NBA All-Star game. Come on, man. So what they're doing, what the NBA is doing, is they're doing everything they can do except go USA versus the world. Because somebody, maybe it's that guy number 23 in the purple and gold. Maybe it's Chris Paul in San Antonio. Somebody said they really don't want to compete in the game. Because if they went USA versus the world, means they have to compete because they're going to get embarrassed by the world. That means the guys, whoever comes into the NBA gets no votes.
I'm okay with All-Star Weekend being a convention. You know what I'm saying? You got
it's awesome convention now.
You bring the artists.
I can't say get rid of the All-Star game. Like get rid of Super Bowl when you really.
I said weekend.
Not the Super Bowl. I meant the Pro Bowl. Get rid of the Pro Bowl. Okay, you don't play the Pro Bowl game. But the Pro Bowl game wasn't a fan fest, if you will. The All NBA, there's so much more that comes with the NBA All-Star game.
Rookie stuff. You got the skills challenge.
Yeah, that's a full weekend.
Contest. You got the 3-on-3. You got the slam dunk. And then at the end of all of this hoop fest, you got the All-Star game. And now
211 to 198. Come on, Cleveland. That wasn't no defense. Everybody trying to bounce the ball out the backboard and get their own dunk, shooting threes from the logo. Come on, cut that. Come on, man.
I see. Don't understand. These guys start the weekend on Thursday, doing all of these things, all of these shows, all of these parties.
Cut it out. Cut it out.
Did you, Cameron?
Stop this. Stop it.
No,
I'm not allowing you to go. I'm not allowing you to go here.
Cameron, real quick, serious question. Did you go to the All-Star game in Vegas?
Not in Vegas, no. I've been to the All-Star. I was in the All-Star game in LA.
Fans, let me bring you up to speed. By Sunday, when it was time to play the game, those cats were exhausted over all of the things they had been doing since Thursday to Sunday. The NBA understands this. And so they kind of drag it out. And by the time it's time to like play like
They have a week off, bro.
pretend
They have a
game,
week off.
by the time it's time to play the pretend game, yeah, man. It's just kind of a pretend game. Why do you want it to be like this? Oh, the East versus the West, and Giannis versus LeBron.
No. I want USA versus the world. That's what I want. That's what I want. And they would be forced to play because those Europeans are coming. There were Europeans going to come getting that ass.
You know what?
That's going to make them play.
You actually don't want that because
I do. I actually do.
It would be
I actually do.
Too competitive. Why do you want the All-Star game to be so competitive?
I'm sorry?
Why do you want the All-Star game to be so competitive?
These are the best athletes in the world.
So what?
We want to see them play.
And
they play harder. They play harder they play harder in the in training camp. They play harder in the summer league. Cleveland, they play harder in the summer league, which you despise. What do you call summer league?
You want them to do that to entertain you.
What do you call the summer league? I couldn't believe we're talking to
win a championship.
We're talking to we have a podcast.
Like it's a regular season game, like for a playoff spot. How about it just be entertainment?
No. Entertain me by showing some competitiveness.
No.
We have an NBA dignitary on the podcast in Cleveland. I couldn't believe he had the nerve to. What did you call the NBA? The All-Star game? We're in Vegas for the not All-Star game for the Summer League. What did you call Summer League, Cleveland?
A glorified scrimmage, and our counterpart agreed.
Amin Hassan, who was on the show, he called him that right to his face. So I couldn't believe it. He agreed. We don't want to. They play harder in the Summer League, Cleveland. They're more competitive in the Summer League than what we've seen in the NBA All-Star. That's embarrassing.
You want to know why they play so much harder?
That's embarrassing.
Because it's before the season even starts. You want something to happen like 55 games into the season? Like we're supposed to be playing hard like we care? No.
So, SB had something. SB had something he wanted to share with you. Do you know who Drew Holiday is? He don't want to hear. He don't want to hear Drew Holiday and Derek White. I don't even think he might not know who Derek White is. SB, he might not even know who Derek White is. I think he knows who Drew Holiday is.
I get where SB is coming from with that, and you want to know why? It's because they have superstars to take up the rest of the responsibility. It's because you have Tatum and Jalen. It's because you have AD and LeBron. It's because you have Edwards. Yeah. Role players can just be role players. You don't expect them to do anything heroic. Because you
need them to play their role. Just like you needed Tavius Caldwell-Pope and you need Bruce Brown to go ahead and defend the other guy and keep him from going off for 30.
And Cam, I love this. I love the way you always campaign for your guys, like your role player guys. No, they don't win NBA championships. They contribute, and it would be helpful if you had them. But if you don't have a joker,
you don't have them, you're not winning. That's the point that SB just said. That's the point that SB just pointed out right there. You have role players who star in their roles and win championships. Without them, you don't win championships.
Put this a different way. If you had no joker and 3 Kentavious Caldwell-Popes, you're not winning a championship. If you have the joker and no Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, you still might win the championship.
No, you're not winning. The Joker's not winning the championship. He has won. He hasn't been to the championship time and time again. He wasn't there until those guys showed up.
And it's all Kentavious Caldwell-Pope's contributions.
He didn't win before or after him.
Not because of the 3-time MVP who's about to be the 4-time MVP.
Call it what you want. He's not going to win a championship. He's not going to win a championship.
Okay.
Christian Braun is not getting the job done. Okay. Peyton Watson, I think his name is not Peyton. He's closer to the Bruce Brown was, but
fortunately they have the Joker, and they won't have to worry about all that so long as Jamal Murray's healthy.
Okay, I bet you want Michael Porter to show up too, don't you? I bet you want him to show up too.
Be helpful.
It'd be helpful. That's all we're saying. That's all we're saying. If you have your the complement of your team to show up, Joker can't do it on his own.
It's far too early. It's November.
Yeah, they're not. I can tell you right there now. They're not winning the championship. Period. Denver is not going to be in the Final Four in the NBA in the Western Conference. Period. End of story. And you want to put something on that?
I'm going to go back and forth.
Do you put something on Denver getting to the Western Conference?
After all of these years, you still don't understand the NBA hoop.
Put something on Denver getting to the NBA Finals.
Early.
Put something on Denver getting to the NBA Finals. Put something on that right now.
I already got the pound that Oklahoma City's not going to win the championship.
Well, Oklahoma City right now, they're playing with Golden State. They were just up like 15. Golden State.
Cool. Great.
Yeah. Okay. See, I know who's gonna. I already told you who's gonna be the MVP. Right. He overhyping Joker. That's a great one. That is a great one right there. That's a great one. That's a great one. No, the NBA, get back to the NBA All-Star game. They're doing everything they're doing to prevent going NBA versus the world because they don't want it to, LeBron made the call. They don't want to be that competitive. However, there's still going to be some competition there because they're going to divide those who get named to the All-Star game. They're going to divide that up, and it's the third. So it's going to be 3 teams divided. The 15 guys that get named to the All-Star game is going to make up 3 teams. Then they're going to bring in the 4th team is going to be the rookie, the winner of the rookie sophomore game, Rising Stars, whatever. And so they're going to come in there and compete. That little group is going to force some competition because none of these veterans want to get beat by the young guys. So that's going to force some competition. So we will get at least one competitive matchup in this little 4-game tournament, 3-game tournament that they have. We will get at least one game because the veterans aren't going to want to lose to the young guys. That will be at least competitive. And lo and behold, the young guys win the 1 game and then move on to the finals. Oh my goodness. I think the sky might fall down in New York. The sky might fall in New York. They're going to be like, what did we do? We let the young rookie sophomore squad compete with the NBA All-Star. They're going to scrap that immediately. They might call in between games and scrap that matchup and be like, no, let's just pick a team. Go back to the team picking the roster. They might scrap that. I think that's going to be good for the NBA. This whole excuse you're giving me, the guys, cut it out, man. The guys they're getting a show up fee. They show up to the XM party. They show up to the Nike party. Shake hands, kiss babies, have a drink or two. Man, going back to their 5-star hotel to their suite, okay, and then sleeping another 12 hours. Get your ass up and go play basketball. I'm not buying that excuse. Get your ass up and go play. That's what I have to say. That's just Cleveland's like, yeah, whatever. Zach Edey, are you impressed with Zach Edey or not impressed with Zach Edey? Because you got Amin Hassan just laughs at Zach Edey. He doesn't think he can make it last long in the league.
I'll be honest with you, Cameron. Haven't been really following his progress to this point. I assume he's 7-4 and kind of contributing here and there, 10-10, something like that, 10-8.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. He is a role player. he is not the star of that team. You see Jaw coming back. You see Jaw's move when he came back. Like you was giving me crap about this little guy, 6'2", 174, can't do all of these moves in the air. Did you see his first play coming back? Not first play, but did you see? You saw him gliding through the air in the first game back into action.
Cameron, it's November the 27th. I haven't watched too much. I watched a little bit. I watched some SportsCenter highlights. we are still fully engrossed in football season, and basketball kind of takes a second, back seat. I watch a little bit. I don't make too much of it because it's only 25% of the way through the season.
It's early. Oh boy, fans! I need a drink of water for this one, fans. This week in history, fans. Oh, we got some stuff to talk about here. We got some stuff to talk about here. Fans, we started the show off with the numbers game at the beginning of the show. I like to end the show with a quote, kind of help motivate you guys and give you something to inspire you throughout the rest of the week, even though it's a holiday. But this week in history, I like to give you some history. Just pull out some nuggets of history of this thing that happened, whatever happened this week or close to this day back in the annals of time. So we're going to look at what we're going to look at today. Some of the things that happened in our American history. November 25th, Cleveland, 1899. 19-year-old Frank Embry was tortured, castrated, skinned, and lynched in front of a cheering crowd for a crime he did not commit. 1907, conductor Randolph Dunbar, born in Ghana, was the youngest man to lead the London Philharmonic and the first black man to do so. 1961, Cleveland. What Syracuse football player was the first African American to win the Heisman Trophy?
Mr. Davis.
Ernie Davis, exactly right. Cleveland, 11/23/1968, the United States FBI formed COINTELPRO, a counterintelligence program against Black American National program. End up killing John Huggins and Bunchy Carter. And this is 1968, Cleveland, who led the Black Panthers. The Tigon laws November 24th, 1965, ended the Tigon laws of the 18th century. Cleveland, this was the laws that said all African American women had to cover up their hair. And that's where they were wearing the scarves and shit over the head. It was crazy. That law ended in 1965. It wasn't enforced for a long time, but that law on the books, it went off the books in 1965. 11/29/1978, Victor Alexander Anderson made history when he stepped out on Wembley to play for England against Czechoslovakia. England won 1-0 in that game. Are you familiar with Vivian Alexander Anderson?
I'm not.
11/30/1966, the Caribbean island nation of Barbados became independent from the United Kingdom. 11/22/2002, Ozzie Newsome made NFL history when he became the first African American general manager in the league. Newsome is he was the general manager of the Baltimore Ravens. 11/25/1955, Interstate Commerce Commission banned segregation on buses and in waiting rooms involved with interstate travel. Only in 1965. Cleveland, November 20th, 1977, 16-year-old Yvette Stevens joined the Black Panther Party, initially selling Black Panther newspapers, helping start the free breakfast program for children. Do you know who Yvette Stevens is? She has an AKA. She has an AKA that you'll know. Most people know much better.
So instead of 77, I think you're thinking 67, and that would be Shaka Khan.
It was 77. I think I double checked it. It might have been 67. I don't know. I double checked it. It was 67 or 77. 11/26/1982. Howard Cosell calls his last fight after being disgusted by Larry Holmes versus Tex Cobb mismatch. He said he had enough of it. Your guy Howard Cosell.
I watched that fight. Yeah, he was disgusted.
Well, if you watch it, he let you know he was disgusted too.
Yeah.
11/26/1995. Who broke Fran Tarkenton's record to become the Hall of Fame, the all-time leader in touchdown passes? November 26, 1995. That was a trick question. Come on. Who's on? Dan Marino. Dan Marino. 11/27/1985. Cardinals Vince Coleman wins National League Rookie of the Year. 11/22 Cleveland 2024. Kendrick Lamar unexpectedly drops his GNX album to much fanfare. Days later, Cleveland, Drake files lawsuit against the record company claiming they're conspiring to keep his song suppressed. What do you think about Drake and his lawsuit? Not necessarily against Kendrick Lamar, but against the record label.
It is an absolute admission of defeat in every way. Just trying to recoup some financial loss with regards.
Financial loss? What about saving face? Why don't you go out and make
no. Because once you file a lawsuit, you can't save face. So now you just
that's what. But I'm saying instead of the lawsuit, I mean, come on, he's not destitute. He's not destitute by no means.
Well,
so
want some of his money back.
Why not go make another diss track or make a bomb album that people have to buy because the album is so good? Make the best album of your career.
He talked to his people, and that was just not the correct way to go.
Making an album, you rather go to a lawsuit?
Yeah.
Now when they play Not Like Us, you make that Not Like Us really true?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. This is hip hop, man. This is hip hop. This is hip hop. You can't go with the lawsuit, bro. I mean, so that's like you get beat up at school, you go home and tell your parents, and then they bring the police to campus the next day. Come on, man. Yeah, that's what we doing, Drake.
That's what we're doing.
That's what we doing, Aubrey. We gotta stop calling him Drake. That's what we doing, Aubrey.
That's what we're doing.
Oh man, how embarrassing! Hey, how he should have been ashamed. What's your thoughts on Alabama losing? Alabama went down. Do you think the NCAA try to fit them into the tournament?
Oh, they would do whatever they can to try and get Alabama into it. It's up to them to actually, make it relevant. But I think it's too far gone, too long. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Miami, SMU moves up. Have you seen the brackets? The recent brackets?
Yeah, I think it goes something like Ohio State, Texas, Boise State.
Are you good? Are you good where the top 25 stands?
Oh yeah, no, oh yeah. I think what you're seeing is what the committee that kind of put this together wasn't really anticipating, and that with the NIL money and all of these transfer portals, that the dominant team is not going to exist anymore. I mean, they might be dominant for a year or so, I mean, maybe for a year, but they'll just be stripped. They'll lose their depth, and all the players that were supposed to be good and kind of waiting their time, they're going to transfer somewhere else, and you're always going to have this like 2-3 loss type of scenario.
Do you give? I mean, Oregon's number 1, 11-0.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like that number 1, or what do you think about Oregon being number 1? Will they finish a year off number 1 before the tournament?
For sure. They already beat Ohio State. I mean, the only other game, right, is to play Ohio State again, right, in the
Big Ten
championship. Yeah.
So the Big Ten is a dominant. It looking like the Big Ten is a dominant conference, huh?
The SEC cannibalizes itself, and the Big Ten has not recalibrated itself to the point that there's a whole bunch of dominant teams. There's only 4, or there's only 3, right? So it's Penn State, Ohio State, and Oregon.
And you don't forget Indiana. They're in the Big Ten, aren't they?
They are, but they got the snot piss kicked out of them by Ohio State. So, okay, they run the table. So what, that's 4 teams to get into the top 12? Like, eek. Right?
So who is it going to be? The Big Ten or the SEC who wins it all?
The national championship will come from the Big Ten. It won't come from the SEC this year.
Colorado loses to Kansas. Were you surprised by that loss?
Little bit, but not a whole lot. I mean, those guys had kind of overachieved. I mean, they were almost about to be like, ooh, like in the thing, and like they're not that good. So sorry. I like Shedeur. He's cool. I love Hunter. He's great. But
so do you give Deion Hunter was left off with the Jim Thorpe Award finalist? Deion says he's going to give him his trophy. Do you agree with him saying that he shouldn't have been left off? It doesn't make any sense how he's on every other candidate finalist list, but not the Jim Thorpe Award. That doesn't make sense.
He's got to be one of the top 5 defensive backs in the country. I mean, he clearly is the best, but I mean, to even like not be considered as one of the top 5 in the country is odd.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
There's some weirdness. There's some backstory to that. Like,
South Carolina ladies go down to UCLA. 43 game win streak snapped. Another team going to LA. Maybe LA is it's hard to say LA is affects the team, but UCLA, South Carolina goes there and gets smacked around. Maybe they were doing too much partying on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna put it on the college kids. I think they just got kind of like we're expecting to kind of mop those guys, and no, not so much.
I mean, UCLA kind of. I mean, they were number 4, I think, before that game. They put it on them.
They're highly ranked, but like you said, those guys had not lost in 43 straight games. So yeah, that was an upset, a legitimate upset.
Or do we have is there your coach from UConn, Brooke gets the all-time wins record? Is he gonna win another championship? Why am I having a Gino?
Yeah.
Is he gonna win another national championship?
He won one more.
Any thoughts on Conor McGregor being dropped by the companies after his SA conviction? I literally thought the Irish whiskey proper number 12. I literally thought that was his. I didn't know he was just a spokesman.
Oh yeah, I think he had some like a percentage in the company, but yeah, mostly just a pitch man. But no, that's par for the course. I mean, it's a cancel culture. So
Well, I mean, he can run for the United States. One of the seats on Donald Trump's.
He can be the president for.
He can get one of those seats on Donald Trump's cabinet. Shohei wins the National League MVP. Is there any suspense there? Was there any shock there?
No, because it was the unanimous winner. No one had a vote for anyone else other than Shohei. So yeah.
I mean, did anybody else deserve a vote though? Truthfully. You gonna say Lindor from the Mets?
Shohei Ohtani won the most valuable player award in the National League. Congratulations.
Man, we need you to be a little bit more excited than that, Cleveland. Give that man his flowers. Huh?
Be more excited than that.
I mean, you were more excited about Geno. You were more excited about Geno at the beginning of the show. Come on, man.
I mean, good job. I mean,
wait till he pitches next season. I mean,
he's not pitching next season.
They might as well just rename the trophy after Shohei, and because it's going to be his for the next 3 seasons. Wait till he gets on the mound, and then he might not have as many home runs, but he's going to have 100 strikeouts next season. Unheardable. Unheard of. Cleveland, you're gonna have to bow down, man, pretty soon. You're gonna have to bow down and recognize you can't keep fighting this train here.
Okay, well, once he gets to 7 MVPs, then we'll chat.
Again, who has more strikeouts than he has as an MVP?
Who has more MVP trophies than Barry Bonds?
I mean, Barry and the flaxseed oil, all those are questionable.
Shohei and his gambling,
what did that have to do with anything?
Perhaps he should have been banned from baseball a long time ago for some of the stuff he was doing on the field. I don't know.
He was cleared. He was cleared by Major League Baseball. He was cleared by the commissioner.
Because it's an international figure that they had to protect his image.
Oh, is that what they were doing, protecting his image? You don't think the MLB image is bigger than the one player? Or that one player is so big that the MLB had to just say, okay,
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah. Oh, well, if it's a little bit of both, what'd that tell you about him?
He's a great player.
Would that tell you about what he means to the game?
Less than that. He means a lot to the game because he's such an international figure. Yeah.
Oh, just because he's an international figure, not because he's great at what he's doing, and he's doing stuff that nobody's done in the game.
He's doing it on a world stage, which brings a much larger audience, which is great for Major League Baseball.
What about Blake Snell signing with the Dodgers? The Dodgers gonna do it again next year, huh?
They print money over there.
Fans, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. Give yourself a round of applause if you've been here that long. Let's give Cleveland a round of applause for sticking with us. Cleveland, let the people know where they can find you at.
At Cleveland on Twitter, Instagram, and at Cleveland Wonder on Twitter and TikTok. Cleveland still on Instagram.
Until I remember my Blue Sky handle, you guys still hit me up at _ Voice of the Fans on Twitter. At _ Voice of the Fans on Twitter. Send me any clips you got. If you want to be a co-host to the Voice of the Fans podcast, we record every week. Fans, before we get into the quote to end the show, one question asked, with it being for the holidays, thank you guys again for tuning in. I wish all you guys, each and every one of you guys listening and within the sound of my voice, a happy holidays. Hopefully you and your family enjoys a nice couple days off work. You guys enjoy some nice fellowship, some football. You do get to see the Dolphins tomorrow, so that's a good thing. I think the Bears and the Lions is going to be quietly a good game. The Cowboys Giants game, that might be dinner time game right there. You can sit down and get some cool points by letting the football game roll, and then you go hang out with your aunts and uncles and spend time with your wifey if you need be, or if that's the case. But Cleveland, what is your favorite part of Thanksgiving dinner? Is it the sides? Is it the dressing or stuffing? Is it the desserts? What's your favorite portion of Thanksgiving dinner?
My wife's macaroni and cheese.
Oh, wife's mac and cheese when she's getting down, huh? Yeah, okay. So
her greens are extraordinary, but no, it is macaroni and cheese. Yeah.
So are you a dessert guy, or no? Did she do the pumpkin pie, pecan pie, sweet potato pie? Any of that?
I am much more like a meat and I don't want to say meat and potatoes kind of guy, but like the turkey and like the stuffing and the mac and cheese and Brussels sprouts. Yeah, greens. I'm more on like the actual meal of it. The dessert is kind of like, man, I'm so like full. Like, okay, I'll have a couple of pieces of sweet potato pie, or not pieces, couple bites, I should say.
Hey, the truth came out right there, fans.
All wrong. Look, the sweet potato pie. I'm not a pumpkin pie fan, so if it's not sweet potato pie, then it's like, oh, okay. It's kind of like, if it's not sweet potato pie, then I don't really want the dessert. But if it is, then I'm a little bit critical of like
sweet potato is good, but I mean, mom's pumpkin pie, or mom's peach cobbler was the thing.
Peach cobbler, okay, is an absolute.
That was the thing. Her peach cobbler with the apple pie. I used to the thing that would bother me is like it didn't bother me. I didn't think there was a need for like she would make the apple pie and then put the strips of the crust on top. Like I didn't need that. I didn't need that. I didn't need it. I didn't need that.
You have to have that. You have to have
I didn't need it then. I didn't need it then.
You have to have that.
I didn't, but now like that's now that's a piece of it. Like it's all together. But I didn't need it. I could have just ate the pie, the filling, and the crust. I already had crust on it, so I didn't need. You had crust on the bottom. I didn't need it on top too.
Oh, but yeah. On the apple, you absolutely need it because the apples are too sweet. Yeah.
Yeah. That, I mean, you're right. The pumpkin pie.
Yeah. That's me.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So what's your favorite what's your favorite part of the holiday? Obviously spending time with your fans, but Thanksgiving dinner, SB. But yeah, it's been. I mean, mom used to do the peach cobbler, like you said. It was a whole sweet potato pie, just to the self. Just make one over here. I'll put it in the freezer, and I'll take it out at night when nobody sees it, and just make sure I have a whole thing of whipped cream because the whipped cream is going on top. At night, do you heat the sweet potato pie up, or do you eat it cold? I think you got to heat it up. I think you got to heat it up, and then put the cold whipped cream on top of it. Like that sets it off. I think you got to heat it up. Do you heat your sweet potato pie up?
That's a very interesting question, Cameron. So when it first comes out, I had to think about that for a second. So when it first comes out, oh yeah, warm is amazing. But it's warm.
But it's done before the meal's done.
So listen now. But it's more amazing than when I pull it out of the refrigerator the next day and cut up. Oh yeah, no, that's better.
No, you gotta throw that piece in the microwave. You gotta put that piece in the microwave.
That cold sweet potato pie.
No, I can't do it cold. No, I need to heat that bad boy up.
Oh wow.
I need. Oh yeah, mashed potatoes on deck. Mashed potatoes on deck. The blackberry
pie is kind of hard to come by, SB.
Yeah, not everybody do the blackberry pie. Not everybody do it.
If you ask somebody who does it well, then blackberry is always like the pie.
Yeah, there you go. Good call,
always
SB.
going on the totem pole, but it's hard to get the right.
You gotta heat the pie up. You gotta
heat
the pie up. In the next morning, yes.
You eat the pie when it's warm, when it first comes out. Oh, that's great. But then the next
you got to heat that up. You got to heat that bad boy up. The pie, apple pie, peach cobbler,
the apple pie, the peach cobbler.
I mean, apple pie and ice cream is
you have to heat those up.
If your vanilla ice cream ain't dripping all over your plate, all over the bowl of the apple pie, you're not doing it right.
But
you're not doing it right. If it's your
pie,
sweet potato pie, that if you're
that's
Cool Whip.
That's how you know sweet potato pie is really good, because you can just
that baby got to go in the microwave. You got to heat that baby up. Well, fans, thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. I wish each of you guys sincerely a happy holidays. Thank you guys for sticking with us and listening to us, whether you're traveling to your destination now, where you're going to spend time and you listen to this on the road to go spend time with your family. Praise, bless you guys, bless everyone in the house. Cleveland, thank you for tuning in to the show. Give Cleveland a round of applause. It's only a few more weeks in the year, fans. So get whatever you're trying to do in 2024. You got only a few more days left to get it done, because this time is ticking. This time is ticking, fans, and you never know when that clock is going to stop. So get it in. Make sure you guys give everybody a hug tomorrow. Show some love tomorrow, because, again, unfortunately, you never know when that clock stops ticking. So show all your love tomorrow. The quote I'm in the show with. This goes back to the teamwork that we was talking about, SB. Cleveland, this is going to go over Cleveland's head again, because this is talking about teamwork. I've never scored a goal in my life without getting a pass from someone else. Again, this is teamwork. This is teamwork. One more time for the people in the back. I've never scored a goal in my life without getting a pass from someone else. That's USA gold medalist Ambi Wambach. People, that's teamwork. You can't do it all by yourself. Joker can't do it by himself. LeBron can't do it by himself. AD can't do it by himself.
It's soccer, Cameron.
They need help.
That's soccer.
They need help.
I wasn't a hooper.
They need help.
You never heard George Gervin say that.
You never heard Steph Curry. You don't think Steph Curry need Draymond Green? You don't think Steph Curry need Klay Thompson?
I bet Steph Curry said, I never scored a bucket without somebody helping me. No.
Passing in the ball.
Nope.
Somebody had on the ball. You broke up right there. You broke up. Go ahead and repeat yourself, Cleveland.
No, I don't believe that.
Yeah. See, I knew it. I knew it.
Soccer player says that, and rightfully so, because it's soccer.
That's teamwork. That's teamwork, fans. Show some love. Have a great weekend, fans. As always, thank you for making our voice your choice.